All right, we're going to pay it off for those who are with us right now. The great Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com, joins us by phone right now. Mike, thanks so much for sitting through that and then letting us, giving us the opportunity to figure out that technical issue. We appreciate it. How you doing, big guy?
I'm doing fine. Look, I told Tom, stop stealing the quarters out of the payphone. Okay?
I'm telling you.
We need a payphone. Mo, we need. You remember Ma Bell? We need her bad. Really bad.
Ma Bell knew her well.
That's it.
Hey, Mike.
Are we done?
We're done.
Yeah, goodbye.
I'll see you.
Goodbye. Thanks for joining us. Mike, how would you characterize what is going on right now with the Detroit Lions? I mean, you've got the crowd that wants to jump off a bridge, then you've got the relaxed crowd. Are you somewhere in the middle, or where are you?
It depends on what time of the day you catch me. I'm a little nervous on this one right now. I've been told by the people who do this stuff that it's like a 99.9% chance that the Lions are going to make the playoffs. Well, that's not good enough for me. I like 100, but what I really, really don't like is the possibility that they won't have a home playoff game. And to me, that would, I wouldn't say it would ruin the entire season, but it certainly would make it different. I think the players deserve a home game at Ford Field. I think the fans deserve a home game at Ford Field. You know what? So do I. So do you. Everybody who follows this team. I think it would just be a shame if somehow they got into a skid, couldn't get out of it, and end up playing Seattle or whatever. I want that first game at Ford Field. After that, boys and girls, you're on your own.
Mo, always good to talk to you, brother. No, it's here, man. It's interesting when people first start talking about the potential to maybe play the Rams, who are operating at a high level. They lost that game last week, but they're still a damn good ball club right now. I think Matt Stafford has 10 touchdowns in the last 3 games. I was like, what if they played somehow the Rams in the first round of the playoffs, etc.? I was like, it doesn't matter. They bury the Rams, and they're finally bury Matt Stafford. How crazy would it be if Matt Stafford finally won a playoff game at Ford Field? Like, it's starting to be not a thing. It's like, oh, shoot.
Well, you know who the first player to win a playoff game at Ford Field was?
Who was it?
Dan Orlovsky for Connecticut.
What was that? The Cherry Bowl? Or
There's
something?
one for you. It wasn't the Cherry Bowl. That was out at the Silverdome.
Yeah, the Silverdome.
Yeah, but Danny O, my all-time favorites.
The Little Caesars
First
Bowl.
win a playoff game. Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah, it was.
Nah, Mo, but in all seriousness, watching the game, obviously the Lions have been on a little skid lately. They lose to the Packers. They almost lost to the Bears, and then they finally do lose to the Bears 2 weeks later. You look at the offensive line. You talk about injuries. You talk about the defense. The Lions look like a much different team when that offensive line is up to snuff. You look 8 quarters ago, first quarter of the Saints game, 21 points. Like, that team was operating. They were cooking with grease. Fast forward 7 quarters later, and it's going back. Oh, there's no Frank Ragnow. There's no Jonah Jackson. Is it the offensive line that is predicating our success, or is it? What do you think it is, Mike?
Well, I think it's a combination of things, and I think that offensive line and the way the Lions run their offense were meant. They were meant to be partners.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a little bit out of whack, and it changes the entire operation. I'm not sure that's the case. That'd be really making excuse making at a high level, as we like to say, with everything else. But I think they're going to get it together, and I think this game Saturday night at Ford Field is a good venue for the Lions to get things turned around a little bit, because you're indoors, you're on national TV. The Lions seem to have thrived on that, and you're like I said, and you're indoors, and that's. As much as I like Jared Goff, I think he really is more of an indoor player than an outdoor player.
No doubt about it.
Pretty well most of the time, but most guys are. That's not exactly that's not breaking news.
No, it's not. But can he get the ball deep enough for a guy that I'm going to talk to you about, and that's Jamison Williams, and I want to know why they're not using him enough, Mo. Set my mind at ease. Why do I have to hear Dan Campbell every day tell me he's improving? He's improving. What does that mean, he's improving?
Well, he'll get three stats this week instead of 2. How about that?
Let's go.
I don't know. Look, I'm always the coaches know more about the players in their day than I do. I'm a writer. I think I know. Sometimes I think I'm a know-it-all, and sometimes I am a know-it-all. But I don't. At whose expense do you want to give him the snaps? You want to take away from?
I don't care.
Well, of course you don't care.
Just get him on the field.
Well, he is on the field.
No, he's not. He's on the field
open.
3 plays a game.
No. There's a big difference between snaps and being on the field.
Yes, I understand.
Completely
I understand.
Well, then act like you do.
I do.
Am I going to have to spank you again?
Yes. I want you to set my mind at ease. What am I missing at practice? Does this guy drop everything thrown to him?
Well, we don't see enough of practice to know that one way or the other, but it looks to me like, and this is Coach O'Hara speaking now. I think he looks a lot more sure of himself than he did a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Look, this is a very unusual route that he's taken to play in the National Football League, starting out with being on the injured list for the first, 11 games or 12 games of last year, and then starting out suspended this year. But it's been different for him. And it was suspended this year, unable to practice with the team, unable to be around the team, unable to even call in for information on the playbook. So it's been a very unusual intro into pro football for him. I think right now, just hold on.
Yep.
I think right now he is a different player, different person than he was 4 weeks, 5 weeks ago. I think he's really sort of started to get into the professional football environment. He's really an easy kid to talk to. You'd love him. You really would. And I think he's going to turn out to be a good player. Great player. We'll see about all that stuff later. But I think he's going to be a factor for the Detroit Lions.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you about this offense as a whole, the turnovers specifically. 3 against the Bears, 3 against the Packers, 4 against the Bears the previous game. They're not only turning it over just once. I mean, it's an alarming rate in which they're turning the ball over, and in turn, they're putting this defense in an impossible spot. Just four consecutive series against the Bears. The Bears started at their own 48, then the 50, then the Detroit 29, and the Detroit 30. These fans and everybody can talk about this defense all they want. You give this team, give their opponent half a field, less than half a field. There's no defense in the league that's going to be any better.
Well, they also went 75 yards for a touchdown with the opening kickoff.
Sure, I understand that.
Blameless in that.
But no doubt. But point is, this offense is putting this defense in a terrible spot when all the resources are on the offense, though, too. Are they not?
Well, they are, but there are some resources and high draft picks that they haven't panned out either through injury or whatever. But I think obviously this team is driven by offense. It has been for 2 years, and it'll continue that way at least through this season. Look, you're not going to remake your defense right now, but we'll see how it turns out. If the offense gets back to what it was from week 1 through week 7 or 8 or something like that, I think you'll see a different team, a different offense, because it'll put stress on the opposing team's offense, defense to keep up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mo. A serious question.
That's okay.
A serious question. My apologies. I
all serious.
thought the order was off a little bit. That was on me, though. Miscommunication. No. Let me ask you a question. I hate to go backwards about the draft. I think a lot of times we bring up the draft, whether it was this year's draft, last year's draft, the year before that. You talk about missed opportunities on players that you now see operating differently other places. Should we retire that conversation forever, or is it one that's still valid to come up when you see struggles on the defensive line, when you see struggles that, we could have had a chance to get this player or that player? Is it a moot point now, or is it still relative, and do we give Brad Holmes too much credit because of Amon-Ra St. Brown, the 4th round pick, and maybe Sam Laporta?
Well, I think Sam Laporta and then Brian Branch. I think he's drafted well. I really do. And what they haven't gotten really is the one impact defensive player. I mean impact, and no knock on Aiden Hutchinson. His day will come, we think, but they have not gotten that like the second pick overall. You expect 15, 18 sacks. That's sort of the expectation. Whether it's real and achievable, that's another matter. But they really haven't gotten that guy that just takes the wind out of the offense. And until they do, I think they'll have to struggle to some degree. Those players, look, the guy to acknowledge this. Those players are hard to get. I mean, great pass rushers don't just grow on trees.
But we've had opportunity there too.
But you're right. You've got to draft them to get them to have the opportunity. I agree with that too.
Look, Mo, Last one
Yeah.
for me. 4 games to go. They're 9-4 right now. What will be their final record?
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up because I was just looking at the standings thing. Look at how many teams, how many teams in the National Football League, the 32 teams, are over 500 right now.
Oh yeah,
It's a league of 6 and 7.
I know.
There are 3 teams in the NFC, 3 first place teams in the NFC that have won more than 9 games, more than 7 games, I should say. 3
Yeah,
first place teams.
it's parity.
What are we looking at?
No doubt. No doubt. 10 wins will win this division.
I don't know if
10
it
wins
will.
will. I think 10 wins will win
10
this
is-
division.
Well, 10 wins should win the division, but that's okay. 10 is okay, but 7 and 9 or 7 and 8 or whatever. I'm sorry, 7 and 10. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Mike, we're up against it. We appreciate you sticking with us, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week after a Lions win at home against Denver. That would be something.
He's gonna have to stay up late on Saturday.
Oh, past your bedtime, Mike?
Oh yeah, past his bedtime for sure.
Oh man, past my bedtime. That's for sure. I know that. Crazy. All right, Mike. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate
Mo.
it. Check out Mike,
Talk to you, Mo.
DetroitLions.com. I got to get one more break in, guys. We'll do that right now.